Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Comcast spinning off a bunch of its cable networks, getting basically them off their books, getting rid of the liabilities from there. Has cord cutting finally killed off the cable networks? We'll take a look at what's happening there and more. Also with this, Roku will be shifting its focus from selling players and active users to its platform, advertising, subscriptions, and other ones. Also, Comcast reported its third quarter earnings, lost 365,000 TV customers and 87,000 internet customers. These details and a lot more coming up in a quick second. First though, if you're new here, you can find a link to every story we talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment down below. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, doing one or both. Lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people. It really does help us. And with that said, let's dive into it. All right, Comcast had its earnings yesterday and reported a lot of interesting numbers we'll talk about in a second. But more importantly, during the earnings call, they talked about the desire to spin off their cable networks into an independent organization. Much like how AT&T did this. AT&T did that for DirecTV, took it, spun it off into its own company. They at the time retained a majority ownership of it. And then they were able to remove that from their books because at the time it was reported that the CEO was looking at Warner Brothers Discovery and all this, or at the time, which is Warner Brothers, they were merged with Discovery, and said, man, no matter how well I do in all the other parts of our business, we got basically this dead weight here pulling us down, making our numbers look a lot worse. And that's when they came and spun off both Time Warner and DirecTV. Now it looks like Comcast is looking to do the same thing, probably for similar reasons. As viewership on cable networks continued to decline and become a very competitive, tough market, they probably are saying, hey, you know, we spin this off into an independent organization, we can still pull some of the profit from it, but then we can remove the bad parts of it from our books and make our stocks look a lot better with that. Now, what exactly that will look like? Will it bring a third-party partnership in like AT&T did, who is now selling off the rest of that for DirecTV or more? But this would include MSNBC, CNBC, Bravo, USA Network, Sci-Fi, and more. With it, will it become independent from Comcast, but likely still owned majority by Comcast is how they could do it. This comes as just the world of cable networks is not what it used to be. You know, increasingly people are focusing on their streaming services. They want to get Peacock growing. With this, they also announced that Peacock will be exploring partnerships. We already heard reports that they're in talks with Paramount Plus, offer a bundle type deal where Paramount Plus and Peacock be bundled, much like we see other services doing. Wouldn't surprise me at all if that becomes a reality. We'll have to keep a close eye on this. Question to you. Does it surprise you that Comcast is going to spin off their cable networks? Now they're going to keep the studios. They're going to keep their streaming service from the way this looks now. Things could change. But they're trying to get the streaming service or the cable networks off their books to focus on their streaming service more. Which comes as Peacock added 3 million subscribers in the third quarter. We'll keep an eye on it. This is a warning flag for the future of cable networks. They're clearly looking at this saying, this is not where we think our business future is. And when they say that, it usually means it's because they don't see a long-term viability of it, or they don't see it worth the cost for the return. But other companies are looking at this the same way. The death of the cable network, we'll take a look at it. All right, Comcast at that same time has reported it lost 365,000 TV customers and 87,000 internet customers as it continues to lose internet customers out there and cable subscribers. I'll be interested to see how that trend continues, though. Overall, Comcast did report fairly decent numbers, but not from that area. Let's keep moving along. Roku reported their earnings. We talked a little bit about that in the last video, but one of the things they also announced was that they're going to be shifting their reporting next year to stop focusing on active users and number of devices sold, to instead focus on their platform revenue, advertising, subscriptions, and the more that you get through it. This comes as Roku increasingly focuses on advertising, which has for some time been the core of their main business. A lot of the ads you see on streaming services actually come from Roku. They're one of the largest ad sellers on smart TVs and connected televisions out there of all the ad ones out there. They're also heavily trying to push subscriptions. You've probably seen ads. Subscribe to Paramount Plus or some other one through the Roku channel. Also going to take a small cut of that. But with this, they're going to stop reporting that their active user numbers and instead focus on platform revenue like subscriptions that they're getting revenue from and advertising. Big shift. We just talked yesterday about the fact that fewer people are looking to buy streaming players at the same rate that they have in the past. So this is Roku kind of meeting that trend, focusing forward on the platform revenue instead of device revenue. One more big red flag there, that the streaming player market is someday going to become a thing of the past. Roku has even hinted that their main focus now is on televisions. Well, I think the last stat I saw said 1 in 3 smart televisions in the United States are sold with a Roku OS running it from all the different manufacturers out there. That's a great place to be in because then Roku's generating ad revenue, subscription revenue from those TVs. But it's again that, the days of maybe people buying a new streaming player to get new features is going away. As they're now built in, people are going to be far less likely to go buy a new TV than they were to buy a new streaming player. Leave me a comment, let me know. But this change will happen in 2025. So we have one more quarter coming up with these numbers before the shift happens. All right, if you're a fan of MeTV, they've announced their Christmas lineup. How to watch all your holiday favorites. They have a huge lineup of Christmas content starting November 24th. It's going to start off with the Happy Days, First Thanksgiving, and then head into Beverly Hillbillies, Gilligan Islands, Mama's Family, The Love Boat, A Boy Named Charlie Brown will air, All in the Family, The Watsons, MASH, Beverly Hillbillies, and more will all be offering special holiday episodes, not just for Christmas, but Thanksgiving and more on MeTV. We have the full schedule for it, for all the ones coming up, and how to watch it if you don't get MeTV in your area. Link in the show notes down below. You can find the full description over our site, CoreCarsNews.com. All right, DirecTV Stream, DirecTV Vidernet, and more are testing out multi-view with this. Now, this will be a special curated one for the election, where they have multiple news organizations in one multi-feed on your screen that you can flip back and forth between. It will be included in standard subscriptions to DirecTV Stream and other DirecTV packages. If you want to learn more about it, check it out. But great ability to kind of watch all the news organizations at once. It's always funny because one organization will call the race before others do sometimes, or call this race or that race, or I don't know. I'm more of I want to see the numbers. I like it when they're on screen talking about the actual numbers that are coming in. I'm much less into the talking heads that just sit there and talk about big picture stuff, at least for me during election nights. But it'd be interesting because I like that, because it'd be like, oh, this news organization is showing actual numbers. Let me go there. Oh, this one is making a prediction of who's going to win. Let's jump over and see what they're saying based on their voter totals. I like this multi-view. I think multi-view is awesome. I'm so glad that's becoming more and more widespread. Check it out. Link in the show notes. Of course, YouTube TV has this. Fubo, you can do this too with it also. All right. Moving along. Fubo, speaking of which, is adding a new deal with Tinga to add a bunch of new locals. Locals that carry sports, including the Avalanche and the Dallas Mavericks, and the Seattle Kraken and Denver Nuggets with this. You'll now be able to access multiple regional sports networks through Fubo that have moved from like Bally Sports or AT&T Sportsnet now into independent ones that are broadcasting on free over the air. Really nice. Fubo is expanding their lineup to make sure they have more sports for what people want. Well, that's it for today. Hope everybody had a fantastic Halloween. Today, I'm recording this the night before. About the time I'm publishing this video, Spectrum will report its earnings call. There's also some other out there. Amazon had a great quarter. At the time I'm recording this, they just reported those numbers though. They haven't done the call yet. We'll be watching that for some breaking Amazon news, maybe related to Fire TV or Prime Video. I'll have all that over at CordCuttersNews.com. Every day I put some of the stories I post there get covered here, but not everything. If you're only watching these videos, you're missing out on a lot of news, deals, how-to guides, and more that only air over on, or only posted over at CordCuttersNews.com. Just too much to cover everything here. But that's it. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. We're almost free of all those ads. I'm sure you probably had to watch a few on this video. I'll talk to you all soon. Be safe. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend.